2 days as a topic that is moving quickly in terms of public opinion comes before a court that tends to move slowly. Today, DOMA was being argued, the Defense of Marriage Act from the mid-1990s. It's a federal law that defines marriage only as the union of a man and a woman, regardless of what happens in the individual states. And today's result from the court may differ from yesterday's. Again tonight, we begin at the court. Our justice correspondent, Pete Williams, was inside for today's arguments. Pete, good evening.
Brian, good evening to you. It did appear yesterday that the justices were looking for a way to rule narrowly on Prop 8, but today they seem bolder. It does appear that at least 5 of them are prepared to say that DOMA is unconstitutional and strike it down. Gay rights supporters at the court cheered the 83-year-old New York woman at the center of this case, Edie Windsor. It's her lawsuit that challenges DOMA, the Defense of Marriage Act, passed in 1996 by a strong majority of Congress. It blocks federal recognition of same-sex couples in states where they are allowed to marry, denying them about 1,000 federal benefits that other married couples get. When Ms. Windsor's spouse, the Aspire, died 4 years ago and left her the estate, she got an inheritance tax bill for $363,000 because DOMA blocked the IRS from considering them married. She says that tax bill was a shock.
In the midst of my grief, I realized that the federal government was treating us as strangers, and I paid a humongous estate tax.
Today, some of the court's conservatives question her lawyer's claim that the country has a different attitude now about same-sex marriage.
Why are you so confident in that judgment? How many states permit gay couples to marry?
Today, 9, Your Honor.
9, and so there's been this sea change between now and 1996.
But the court's liberals sharply questioned DOMA, saying the federal benefits denied legally married same-sex couples have a profound effect.
They touch every aspect of life. Your partner is sick. Social Security. I mean, it's pervasive. The full marriage and then the sort of skim milk marriage.
Justice Kennedy, potentially the pivotal vote, said the states, not Congress, traditionally define what it means to be married and eligible for federal benefits.
You are at real risk of running in conflict with what has always been thought to be the essence of the state police power, which is to regulate marriage, divorce, custody.
And several justices said Congress was improperly discriminating when it passed the law.
I'm going to quote from the House report here, is that Congress decided to reflect and honor a collective moral judgment and to express moral disapproval of homosexuality.
So for Justice Kennedy, the probable 5th vote, this did seem to be an issue more of federal power, so it may not produce a sweeping ruling, but striking down DOMA would still be a big victory for advocates of gay rights. Brian?
So, Pete, just for clarity, it's been a confusing 2 days for non-court experts. We have 2 cases on the same basic umbrella topic, but they're very different. What are the takeaway chances that the law of the land on this topic gets changed in one or the other or both?
Well, I think in DOMA it's quite probable. It does appear that they're prepared to strike it down and to say that any state that allows same-sex marriage, couples in those states have to get federal benefits. But on Prop 8, it seems like we're going to get a much narrower ruling, something confined only to California that won't have any kind of precedent-setting effect in the rest of the country. I think some of the gay rights advocates were thinking that these 2 cases together would produce some kind of profound change in the law on gay rights, and at this point it doesn't look like it will, Brian.
Our veteran covering the court, our justice correspondent, Pete Williams.
Want to marry same-sex? Then don't. John, Lowell, Arkansas, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. I'm opposing the same-sex marriage for a simple reason. You read the Holy Bible. It's an abomination to God. You know, all of us going to stand in judgment one of these days, and it's real sad for these people, what's going to happen to them. Thank you very much.
John, are you still with us? Don't hang up yet.
Yes.
Did you listen to the oral arguments today?
Yes, I listened to them.
Same question I'd ask an earlier caller. What was your takeaway based on the questions from the justices and the answers from the lawyers? How do you think the court's going to decide on Proposition 8?
From the arguments, I think the court's going to oppose it.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
That's it.